Nate the Great and the Pillowcase. I Nate the Great am a sleepy detective. My dog Sludge is always sleepy dog. We have just finished the sleepy case. It started a few hours ago. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was not busy. I was sleeping. Sludge was sleeping. Suddenly the telephone rang. I woke up. It woke us up. Who could be calling me in the middle of the night? Hello? Hello, I yawned. It was Rosamond. Oh, pillowcase is missing, she said. Can you help me find it? No, I said, and I hung up. The telephone rang again. I answered it. Sleep in another pillowcase, I said. It's not my pillowcase, Rosamond said. It belongs to Big Hex. Your cat has a pillowcase? Of course, Rosamond said. I yawned. You want me to get up from my sleep to look for a cat's pillowcase? Yes, I thought that Big Hex could sleep without it, but he keeps pacing up and down, up and down, up and down. Doesn't he have a pillow to sleep on? Of course, that's why he needs the pillowcase. Rosamond was strange in the daytime, but she was even more strange at night. I knew that she would not let me sleep. I will take your pillowcase, I said. I put on my bathrobe and slippers. I wrote a note to my mother. Sluzzy and I went out into the night. It was damp, dark, dreary, and shivery. We hurried to Rosamond's house. Rosamond looked sleepy and strange, but not in that old order. Her 4 cats were there. Plain Hex, Little Hex, and Super Hex were asleep. Big Hex was pacing up and down. I said, What does his pillowcase look like? It's beautiful, Rosamond said. I made it myself. I made 4 of them, one for each cat, all the same. White wide holes around the open end and pretty ribbon through the holes. See? Rosamond pointed to her sleeping cats. Big Hex's pillowcase looks exactly like theirs, I asked. Oh no, Big Hex likes to play with his case. So now it's slashed and shredded. I keep washing it. So it's also shrunken and shriveled. And he chewed up the ribbon, so that's gone. Let me get this straight. The missing pillowcase is slashed and shredded, shrunken and shriveled. And it has a hole around one end. And you want it back? Rosamund smiled. Yes, Big Hex just loves it. When was the last time you saw it? This afternoon. I washed all my cat's things. I had 4 laundry bags full, 1 for each cat. I even washed the bags. Then I hung everything out to dry. Did you hang for a pillowcase? Of course, Rosamund said. 1 for each cat. Then Annie came over with Fang. I told her this was my big laundry day for Pat. So we undressed Fang and I washed his sweater and neck bandana. Then I hung them out to dry. Then what? When everything was dry, I put it all in my laundry basket. Were the 4 pillowcases there? Yes, then what? I brought the basket into the house and dumped everything on my bed. Then Annie and I tried to dress Fang in his nice clean clothes. Well, that's the last time I'll ever try to dress that dog. What happened? Fang growled at me. He showed every one of his teeth. I ran out of the room. Then I yelled to Annie to take Fang's clothes home and to take Fang with them. And that's what she said. Did you go back to your laundry after that? No, my cats were hungry, so I fed them. Then I read to my cats. You read to your cats? 15 minutes each day. When did you get back to your laundry? Just before I went to bed. I looked for the night things, the pillowcases, and night shirts. That's when I found out the Big Hex pillowcase was missing. And one of the Little Hex night shirts. You are missing the pillowcase and a night shirt. No, I know where the nightshirt is, and I took it by mistake. I think I just grabbed stuff in her arms when she laughed. Ah, perhaps Annie took Big Hack's pillowcase by mistake. No, Rosamond said. I called her before I called you. You woke her too? Well, I found out that she has little Hack's nightshirt, but she doesn't have the pillowcase. See what a good detective I am? I need a great yarn. Since you are such a good detective, solve this case, I said. Sludge and I are going back to sleep. Wait, Rosamond said. I'm not a great detective. You solve this case. Perhaps your pillowcase is still in this room, or you lost it between the clothesline and this room. Sludge and I will look. Sludge and I looked inside and outside. No luck. I said, tell me, has anyone else been in this room? Only Annie and Fang and my cats. Very well. I must go to Annie's house, call her and tell her I'm coming. Sludge and I went out into the night. It was colder than before. I wrapped my bathrobe tighter around me. I flashed my flashlight on the ground. Perhaps Annie had taken the pillowcase and did not know it. Perhaps she had dropped it between Rosamond's house and her own house, but I did not see it. Annie was waiting inside her house. Fang was waiting too. He was wearing pajamas and a nightcap. Fang had more clothes than I did. Fang yawned. His teeth had never looked bigger. And he said, I know why you're here, but I don't have the pillowcase. Here is what happened. Fang and I went over to Rosamond's house. Fang was wearing his neck bandana and the sweater I got him. For his birthday, Fang looked very snazzy. But after Rosamond washed and dried his clothes, Fang didn't want to wear them. He growled at Rosamond. She ran out of the room. I stuffed Fang's clothes into a laundry bag. And we left too fast. Ah, I said. You were in a hurry. Yes, I even took this little hack's nightshirt by mistake. I found it when Rosamond called me up. I looked in Rosamond's laundry bag. I saw Fang's sweater and bandana and the little hack's nightshirt. Tomorrow I'm going to give back the nightshirt and the laundry bag. Could you also have a grab the big hack's pillowcase by mistake? Annie shrugged. I don't know, but it's not in the laundry bag now. Did you stop anywhere on the way home? Yes, at Uncle Ned's day and night diner to get some bones for Fang. They saved him some of their leftovers. Ah, something could have been dropped out of the laundry bag at the dinner, or between Rosamond's house and the dinner, or between the dinner and your house. What street did you take to and from the dinner? I went to the shortest way. Fang led me. All the dogs know the shortest way. Sludge wagged his tail. He liked the dinner. I thanked Annie for her help. Then Sludge and I walked out into the night. It seemed colder and darker. To the dinner, I said to Sludge. Sludge led the way. I flashed my flashlight. I did not see the pillowcase. Sludge and I went inside. The man behind the counter looked down at us. Sludge. He said, every dog in town must have been in here today. But lucky you, I have a big bone left. Sludge was a happy dog. I saw pancakes on the menu. I was an unhappy detective. I had no money, but I spoke him. I am Nate the Great. Ned knows me. I would like to find pancakes and some clues. I will pay you tomorrow. Right now, I am looking for a cat's pillowcase. The man smiled and turned away. He started to make the pancakes. I saw a white cloth sticking out of his back pocket. I peered over the counter to take a closer look. But the man grabbed the cloth and wiped the counter with it. The cloth was small and shredded, and it had plenty of holes. Was this the pillowcase? Was the case solved? The man put a plate of the pancakes in front of me. I ate and thought, Annie must have taken the pillowcase by mistake and stuffed it into the laundry bag. When she stopped at the dinner, the pillowcase fell out. After Annie and Fang left, the man saw the pillowcase and thought it was a rag. I made the great had to be sure. I had to get the rag. The man stuffed the bag into his pocket. Then he bent over. So did I, Nate the Great. I reached for the rag. I pulled it out of his pocket. I spread it out. I tried to open it up. I wouldn't open. It was not a pillowcase. It was just a rag. I stuffed it back into the man's pocket. It was time to leave. But Sludge had not finished his spoon. Did you have a doggy bag? I asked. The man handed me a bag. I put the bone in the bag. You can finish your bone at home, I said to Sludge. Sludge and I went out into the night. Now we must walk the streets between the dinner and Rosamond's house, I said. Lead the way. Sludge and I walked and walked. I did not see the pillowcase. I saw newspapers being delivered. I heard the clanking of milk bottles. I saw the sun coming up. The moon is going down and the sun is coming up, and I still have not solved this case, I said. Sludge was sniffing the doggy bag. Suddenly, he put his teeth into it. Crunch! He ripped the bag and grabbed the bone. Was Sludge hungry, or was he trying to tell me something? Where was the pillowcase? We could not find it at Rosamond's house. It was not in the laundry bag that Annie took home. We could not find it on the streets or in the dinner. Perhaps there was something Rosamond and Annie had not told me, but they had told me the same story about what had happened at Rosamond's house, except for one small thing. Suddenly, I knew that Rosamond and Annie had both been wrong. Come, I said to Sludge. Sludge and I rushed back to Annie's house. It was hard to do. My bad sleepers were wearing out. Annie was still awake. I was glad about that. Fang was fast asleep. I was glad about that too. I need to great know where the pillowcase is, I said. You have it. No, I don't, Annie said. It is not in the laundry bag. I need to great say that is because it is the laundry bag. You were in a hurry when you left Rosamond's house. You grabbed what you thought was a laundry bag. Well, it looked like one, Annie said. It was open on one end and it had holes around the end, except the rope was missing from the holes. The holes were for a ribbon, I said. But that does not matter. Please show it to me. Annie ran out of the room. She came back holding up something white, slashed, shredded, shrunken, and shriveled, and full of holes at one end. That is Big Hack's pillowcase, I said. I was so busy thinking about the things you carried from Rosamond's house that I did not think about what you carried them in. When Sludge went after his bone inside a bag tonight, he only cared about the bone, not what the bone was in. Sludge and I were thinking alike. Sludge wagged his tail. We were thinking wrong, Sludgy slunk. But how did you know that the laundry bag wasn't a really laundry bag? Annie asked. I made a great smile. Rosamond thought you took the laundry in your arms, but you told me that you took in a laundry bag. So why wasn't Rosamond missing a laundry bag? Because you never took one. Annie was just staring at the pillowcase. Big Hack sleeps on this, she said. It's ugly. Annie tossed the pillowcase to me. My Fang would never sleep on anything so ugly. Fang heard his name. He woke up. He sniffed the ribbed doggy bag. Please, Dreams, I said. Sludge and I walked to Rosamond's house slowly. I now had holes on the bottoms of both slippers. This case is over, I said to Sludge. Now Big Hack can go to sleep. You can go to sleep. I can go to sleep. I rang Rosamond's doorbell. I waited. I rang it again. I waited. At last the door opened. Rosamond was standing there, yawning. You woke me up, she said. I need to great have solved your case. I held up the pillowcase and he took his by mistake. She thought it was laundry bag. Rosamund grabbed the pillowcase. Thanks, Big Hex will get a good night's sleep tomorrow night. What about now? Oh, he got tired of pacing. He's been sleeping since you left the house. 99, Nate. Rosamund slammed the door. I Nate the Great was mad, but I was glad that the case was over. Sludge and I went home. We went to bed. It felt good. The telephone rang. I Nate the Great answered it. I knew exactly what to say. Wrong number.